I am recording this, so there's going to be a lot of dead air, but it's all right. I don't think any of you will have to look at it again, right? But the students that aren't here might have to. Two minutes left. Is there anything to look at this for Desmos? Hell yeah. Right? It's showing me domain, right? That's right. Don't have to, that happens again. You know I'm going over the file, so don't worry about it. So it's not trying to send an email while you're driving, you know? Yeah, it's not a problem. Not a problem. Homework, cool. I don't want you to die. Yeah. Does this thing help me with domain? Hell yeah. Do I see that 10 is in the domain? Right? It's confident there, yeah. Do I see that 0 is not in the domain? Oh yeah. Right? So Desmos is going to really be a nice little safety net for us. Oh, time's up. Who's got it? What's my low number? 2/5. Good. Can I get there or not? Yes. So 2/5 all the way up to 3, right? And then union 3 to infinity. So we'll talk about how to get it, okay? I've got only 2 rules, right? I've only got 2 rules. What's inside my square root must be bigger than or equal to 0. Nice, thanks. Got it. Nope. No worries. No worries. Nothing's a big deal. So there's my x is bigger than 2/5. But I also can't divide by 0, right? So x minus 3 equals 0 means x equals 3. That's not allowed, correct? So I've got my number line from 2/5 to infinity, but I have to cut out the number 3, right? Is that making sense? And so this piece is here, union this piece, right? Is that okay with everybody? My second class today wouldn't talk at all, so I just ended the class. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, but okay. We want to do this whole review. It will help you. I want good grades on this test. Some of you are turning in some, I don't know if you're doing anything, honestly. But let's get serious. Let's get a good grade on this test. The tests get more difficult. All right, second problem. Let's go 10 minutes. Anybody want to share what the first thing you do with a sine table? Anybody remember what to do with your function? Factor, nice. So I'll start that for you. Remember, as we're practicing, we're making sure our formula sheet is filled out completely, right? This one is a little easier, a little more difficult than what I'm going to give you on your test. How we doing? We okay? Might be too much time for the sign table I'm going to give you, but 6 minutes. You look at my work here. If you're stuck at all. I got my criticals, right? You okay with the criticals? Yep. Yep. Then I picked numbers left of, right of, and in between the criticals, right? And I'm plugging it into each factor, and then the product of all of them is that effect. So when I plug a -3 in here, I get a -2, all I care about is the negative. -3 in here, I get a -4, all I care about is the negative. -3 in here, I get a -1, all I care about is the negative. So 3 negatives would be a negative. That is the function under the x. Right? Negative, below ground. There's why I like using that f of x notation. You see, I put in my -3, and I said plot the point -3, f of -3, and it automatically did it for me. I didn't have to do any work. Three minutes. We still working? Anybody still working? We're done? Okay, good. I don't have to wait 3 more minutes then. Cool. So take a look at my work. Factor the function, right? Okay. Find the criticals. What does that mean? Find where the numerator is 0 or the denominator is 0. Is this okay with everybody? Give me some kind of grunts or something. Good. I kind of want to picture the number line, right, with the -2 as an open circle and the -1 and +1 as a closed circle. Why? Because that -2 will get me a denominator of 0. I can't divide by 0, but the plus and minus 1 will get me a 0, and that's fine, right? So I want my criticals left of. So the criticals give me my columns. Right? The criticals give me my columns. And my rows come from the factors, right? And then I'm guessing, I'm doing a test value, left of, right of, in each critical. So I chose -3, I could have chose -10, it doesn't matter, or -13, right? Anywhere left of, right of, and the criticals. So again, when I put 0 into each factor, right? When I put 0 into x plus 1, I get a +1. All I care about is the positive. When I put a 0 into x minus 1, I get a negative. When I put a 0 into x plus 2, I get a positive. And then, right, I'm multiplying or dividing them all, so I get a negative there. Is that making sense? So the whole function is negative there. So between -1 and 1, look at my Desmos chart. Between -1 and 1, between the blue line and the green line, do you see the function is underneath the x-axis? That means it's negative. To the right of 1, it's above the x-axis, right? So what am I saying? F of x is greater than or equal to 0 implies that x belongs to this interval. Those are the x's that work. That's what I'm saying there. How are we doing? We okay? Nice. Number 3. Let's try 5 minutes on this one. Oops. Anybody still working? No one's still working? Everybody's got it? Okay, good. Always supposed to be easier after you do more material, you go back on the stuff, you go, oh, that's easy. You will not go into Calc 1 and say pre-cal was easy, because there's still so much more to do. But I'm trying to make calculus easy. I torture you now, so Calc 1 will be easier. So kind of nice again on Desmos, you get to see, right? You get to see what you're trying to show me, at least. So a nice way to look at my table is to go, so click on the function you want, click in the gearbox, and pick the table, right? So you see here, I'm creating my table 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3, what's next, 16, right? You see what I'm doing? So I'm just filling out my table like that. Does that make sense? Because I want to check my table for my new function, right? Look at what I did with my box. Remember, the mother function's got that 1 by 1 box, right? And this thing here inside here is telling me move that box 1 to the right. So I redrew my box as a blue box, right? Then it's saying take my box and stretch it out by 2. So notice now my box is a height of 2, right? And then it says move my box where? Up 3. So it started here, so up 1, up 2, up 3. So there's my new box with the same 2 corners, and there's my new function. So you can see it stretched right in this direction. Yes? You with me? Nice. And I can clearly see that on Desmos, right? So now I want to adjust my table. So for y equals 2 square roots of x minus 1 all plus 3, my x's are changing by what? Adding 1 or subtracting 1? So 1, 2, 5, 10. Yes, you with me? I took my original x's, added 1 to them. Then I'm going to do what to my y's? What to the y's? Multiply by 2 and add 3. So 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. Yes, you with me? Something finally clicking for some of you? Now, watch what I do. I go back to Desmos. Yes? We ready for this? I'm going to go back to Desmos, and I want to put in, for my other function, right? Click in the box, click on the gear, click on the table. I want to put 1 in, because that's where it told me to stop. And look, it's giving me the 3. And do you see what it plotted there? It plotted 1, 3. That corresponds to this point, right? What was my next one? I forget already. 2? So when I put in 2, I get 5, and it plots the point for me, right? Help me. 10? 5? There it is. You see all the points are corresponding to each other? Yeah? Nice. Let's do one more, and then we'll take a little break. Difference quotient. 10 minutes. On your mark and set, go. See how it starts. See the original function, the x is black here. I mean, that's got to be the toughest problem on the test, right? Don't copy me.
No, I think I messed something up.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. When I had other students when I was a student, and other people would copy off me, I start writing wrong
That's smart. That's like standard IQ.
answers. All right. Let's see how much time. You want a couple more minutes before I talk about it? 1 minute left. Okay. Oh, I might have 2 Calc 1 classes next semester. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's take a look. So, right? Difference quotient. The original function evaluated at what? X plus h, right? Minus the original function. Minus the original function. There's my difference. All divided by h. There's my quotient. Difference quotient. Yes? I like to, from step 1 to step 2, get rid of any unnecessary parenthesis and then regroup any multi-term numerators or denominators. Right? If you see here now, I'm using those highlighted in green as my LCD, but I have to multiply by 1, right? So I take that LCD over itself right here in the purple. I distribute through to numerators. You can see my purple numerators in the original black, right? I cross out the things that cancel. I rewrite, take my time, right? And then finally get to my difference quotient. Now, I'm going to give you 2 points, or I'm going to give you an X and an H, right? So I gave you an X and an H. So all I did first was plug in all my X's were 2, and all my H's as 3, right? And then I simplified, and I got the slope negative 2/27. I'm looking at Desmos. I should look at Desmos and make sure it makes sense that my slope's negative. But then I have to plug those same values. Remember, X was 2, H was 3, so 2 plus 3 is 5. So I'm looking at an X of 2 and an X of 5, right? And then I get that slope. Done. Same answer. Anybody get it? Who got it? Okay, so you're okay here though. Right, but but I'm asking Ben, you're okay here, yes? Okay. So how I can check my slope is I want to put in my X values, right? So I had an X of 2. What's that? H is 3, but as I go from 2 and 3 over, I got to get to 5. So I'm counting over 3 more from my first X, and I get my second X. Does that click in there? Yeah. So H is this distance, but my second X was 5. 3 over, right? Nice. You want to take a little break? Go for it. Let's come back at 3:25, okay? Nice, let me see.
I thought that this was a 1, so I
Yes.
did it for H.
Oh, that's fine. But
so I think it's right.
exactly.
Right?
So you checked it the other way too. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. What's up?
So, the 2h becomes negative, right?
Exactly,
But
because,
is it because when you switch here, you gotta change the signs?
nope, it's right here, it's this one that's doing it.
Oh,
So you see, you still have that negative there,
oh, I
and you
stopped.
lost it,
Yeah.
yeah, there it is. So
Okay,
that's
and
gonna,
then you gotta,
so that's
you
right,
gotta
so
bring
the
it.
two x's are gonna cancel, so negative ones are gonna
Okay.
cancel, but the 2h is gonna become
Yeah,
negative.
got that, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you got it. And almost every class, every year, for 30-some years, someone makes that same mistake, so it's not, yeah. Yes. It is 584. Yes, wait a minute, that's not true. I don't know what it is. 585, it should be 585. Okay, yes. What's up? Let me see. Let me see. Yes, this guy has got to get when you do that x plus h thing, it's got to go just into the x.
Okay.
Right. So so it should be 2x and 2h. 2x plus 2h minus 1.
Okay.
Right. So that guy, there should be a 2 there. So this one is here, right? And the 2 there, yes. So that's why things were falling apart at the bottom.
Oh, because at a distance.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it was
Nice. Oh, good. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Perfect. Anywhere's fine. Thank you. All right, let's get back to work. Number 5 is more of a theoretical. So I'll say, when I make up these tests, these mock tests, I usually go a little overboard and they're physical. Okay, so this one is weird, and I couldn't just think of something weird to ask you if you can think about it. So I said, what is the difference towards the beginning, by the way? The slope of the secant line, right? Slope of the secant line. So if you think about it, a y equals mx plus b, right? You think about a y equals mx plus b. If I pick any 2 points on there, it's going to be the same slope, right? That's the original line itself. And so that's what I'm showing here. I'm showing you, I'm going to do a difference quotient with mx plus b, right? We already know the slope is that, right? So what do you see here? Let me highlight it. What do you see here in green? What do you see here in green? How would you describe that to somebody? That's the original function with, instead of x plus h, thank you. And then blue, what's that? The original function, right? F of x plus h minus f of x. And, I'm just trying to be real silly about it, right? Distributing the m, distributing the negative, and then everything cancels except for mh over h. And of course the h's cancel, and I just get the slope m. Right? Is that making sense? So let's go to number 6. Sure. So number 6, it says, I'm giving you a polynomial. I'm giving you a quadratic. Get me everything. What does that mean? Get me factor form. It already isn't that. Get me standard form. Right? Get me vertex. Go ahead. Get me as much as you can in 10 minutes. Say again? Yeah, sure. Ascending, descending. Yeah, domain, range, vertex, axis of symmetry, intercepts. Sure. Say again? I'm thinking 10. 2 hours, 10 questions, that's 12 minutes a question. Plenty of time. Like I said, the one I put on this, the practice day is always more difficult than the one on the test day. Remember, 500 milligrams of Advil right before class should do it. I don't think I started my timer. I did not. I miss anything? Intercept, vertex, standard, vertex. My first COVID joke I ever wrote. I lost a lot of weight over COVID. I didn't wait to track. Does that seem like track is worse than ever right now? I hate living in this area. How do we do? Standard form, okay? Everyone get standard form? Nice. Only 2 out of 19's freaking me out a little bit. Standard form, nice. Vertex form was a beast. Right? Vertex form? No, you got it? Anybody get vertex form here? You want to hear my process? Anybody want to hear the thought going through my head here? So I'm grouping my first 2 terms, right, in parentheses, and I'm factoring out the leading coefficient of x squared, which is a 2, yes? It's easier for me to think about distributing back here than it is about factoring. Because when I distribute back, I get the 2x squared, right? And then what happens to the 2's when I distribute to that second one? They cancel. Right? So it's easy to see it when I distribute it back. Am I right? When I distribute it back, don't those 2's cancel and I get minus 7x? Hello? Yes or no? When I distribute this 2 to the negative 7 halves x, don't the 2's cancel? Say yes. And then I get back to my original, right? Good. Now I see k. It's the coefficient of x after that thing has been factored out. I get half of it. I just have to multiply, right? That's just 1/2 times 7 halves, right? So it's minus 7/4. I square it, 49/16. I add that inside, but what did I really add inside? 49/8. Do you see that? 49 over 8. So I have to cancel that 49 over 8 with a negative 49 over 8. What do I get here every time? X plus half of k every single time. And then I just had to get an LCD here. 6 times 8 is 48 over 8. So 48 over 8 minus 49 over 8 is negative 1 over 8. You kind of can cheat it, honestly. If you want to try and avoid ever learning how to complete the square, I don't know why you would. You can really cheat it on Desmos, right? So Desmos, I'm going to plot my original function. What is it? X minus 2, right? Times 2x minus what? 3? Yeah, 2x minus 3. So I can really cheat this on Desmos. If you see, I can just go to my vertex and I can see what I should get, right? And if I just turn both of those back into fractions, I can just cheat it. Do you see minus 1/8 as the y value? Right? Half of a quarter, right, is 12.5 cents. Okay, so I got my vertex form. Intercepts are easy, right? I got that from standard form. I got that from factored form. Yes, you with me? Who got the intercepts? You're freaking me out a little bit. Only 3 or 4 students. Domain is everything because it goes real wide, right? And the range, since it's opening up, starts at the y value of the vertex and goes to infinity, right? Yes, question, Jorge? Yeah, I'll do what I did like on the quiz. I asked for 4 things, right? Or 5 things on the quiz. So I'll do that. But you should have, everybody, on your formula sheet, everything you should have to find from a parabola, right? And how to find it, yes? I got the increasing and decreasing. I got the axis of symmetry, right? How'd we do? We did okay here? You're going to know your grade when you leave the room. You're going to know, oh, for sure, I got 9 out of 10 right, and I'm just not sure about that one, right? So that's a good thing. Good. Number 7. Even, odd, or neither. We did this on the first day, the very first class. And I've got y equals x minus x cubed. Let's graph it first. And so what's telling you odd here? What's telling you odd? Remember, Ron? What's that? No, about the origin. So, meaning if I just hammer a nail here, right? And then let me get these 2 pieces, and let me rotate 180 degrees, it should be the same graph. Or you could do the double fold, right? So fold this piece over, and then fold this piece over. Everything should match up. Algebraically, how do we show it? Show f of x is odd by showing the opposite of that f of x equals the opposite of f of negative x. That's our process. We haven't done this in a while, so I figured you would have forgotten it. Yeah. I'll probably make it a neither. So you have to know how to test for even, you have to know how to test for odd, and if both of those fail, then it's a neither or a neither. Yeah, I'll say is the following function odd, even, or neither? Sure. So there's your function. So let's go to 8. Now, all of these can be graphed with Desmos, of course, right? And then you can just transfer the graph, a rough sketch to your page. You don't have to sit there and take out a ruler and things like that, okay? I'm going to try and keep them as much as I can like mother functions. So if we look at f of x for number 8, our first function is square root of x. We all know what that looks like, right? So, but watch me graph it. I know that square root of x is that mother function, right, with 0, 0, and 1, 1, right? But I don't need this other piece of it, right? I don't need this piece of it. I only need this piece of it. Is that making sense? Right? So I graph the whole thing and then I erase the piece I don't need. Does that make sense at all? I don't need that much detail on it other than what I just did here, okay? For my middle piece, from -1 to 1, I have a quadratic, right? So I know all the pieces of the quadratic that I have, right? And I can kind of just pretend to keep going with it. I don't need it though, right? Does that make sense? Again, it can all be done on Desmos. And the last piece is 1 over x, right? Again, I have probably all my mother functions on my formula sheet. But again, you can see the rest of the curve, right? You want to see it on Desmos? So I guess the important thing here is that you see where the points are included or not. And that's hard to show on Desmos, but I'll still show you that. But make sure when you're transferring it, so you can see when x is equal to 1, right, I have the point 1, 1, right? So that's filled in from the blue graph. Does that make sense? Right? But when I'm using x squared, I'm between -1 and 1. So that's why they have, the endpoints are empty. Do you see the endpoints on the black graph are empty, not filled in with black? Yes? And when I'm using 1 over x, for x is less than or equal to -1, again, at -1, I'm filling in that point. Does that make sense? Hello? Anybody? Oh, thank you. So on Desmos, though, my first function is square root of x, and I restrict it with a space, then curly brackets, x, and I can use the greater than or equal to down here in the box. X is greater than or equal to 1. And I do know that the point 1, 1 is on there because it does include, right? It does include that endpoint. Yes, you with me? The next piece is x squared, right? And I want to restrict it between -1 is less than x, which is less than 1. And this one is weird because it's hard to show an empty endpoint. I can do it. So for example, I know the point -1, 1 is at the end. And if I go to the gearbox, I can pick an empty point there for that, right? And call it red so you can kind of see. Yes, you see what I'm doing? You don't have to do that much detail. Just put that detail on the paper. Okay? So like this one, I would probably want to change that one to purple, right? Just so it looks like it's part of the purple graph. Right, and maybe on my other red, let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can. It won't take more than, right? You see what I mean? It won't take more than information. It's not that smart. And then my last function was what? Y equals 1 over x. For the domain of, yeah, x is less than or equal to -1. What's this domain? What's the domain here? Okay, yes, definitely all real numbers, right? We're looking at that width. There's no places missing, right? You could kind of say, well, this piece is missing right here, right? But that x value is taken care of there, right? So domain is all real numbers here. Nice. What about range? Almost. It stops definitely here, right? It doesn't go lower than that, right? So the low point is -1, and then it goes all the way up via this way to infinity. You see that? It's a little tricky to see that, but this one never gets to 0, right? But I get the 0 here. So 0 is in my range. The piecewise function usually is the piece that most students hate in pre-calc. Anybody agree with me there? Good. All right, let's do number 9. So at x equals 1, I just have the height of 2, a single point. X is greater than 1 is my parabola. X squared, right? And x is less than 1. So I think this is not a problem. Am I right? Graphing that is not a problem. It's a single point, right? When x is 1, I have the height of 2. Yes? This one's one of our mother functions, so you should be able to see my my continuation of the quadratic, right? Yes? And the other one, how did I get the other one? I just did a table. I did a x is 1 and x is 0. When I plugged in 1, I got -1. When I plugged in 0, I got 1, and I just plotted those 2 points. How are we doing? Again, can be done on Desmos, right? What did I ask for on 9? Find the range, yes? So what's the lowest height? Very good. And how far up does it go? Very good, class. Yeah, so, oh, thank you. Good catch. Because it's empty, I can't include it. Thank you. Right? Good catch. Nice, last one. Complete the square. It's pretty nasty, this one. Maybe not. Ten. Oh no, my parking ran out. 2 hours. If I get a ticket, I'm gonna be so pissed. Yeah, 2 hours. So we're going to start at 2 and end at 4 for the exam. 10 questions. You leave early if you finish early. But be careful. I used to do that. I would do the whole thing in a half hour and run out, and I would end up making stupid mistakes. You've got a real chance to get a perfect grade and still leave early, but you got to be patient, right? Use Desmos to double check things. Yes. Yes. Back to 9? Yep. Exact for this last piece. For this piece you're talking about? Yeah. Did I do that right? No, yeah, that's x is less than 1. So this is 1, right? This is where x is 1, right? So left of 1 is that first piece, yes? Yep. What do you think? I mean, what have I been quizzing you on? I've been quizzing you on the transformation and the difference point, right? And then I did one with the parabola, right? So again, first that form, right? Those are the 3 top pieces. If you bomb your quiz, if you do well on the test, it will make up the quiz. It will hurt you. And I'm going to drop quizzes, okay? So you perform sheet ready, you got practice, yes? Any requests? Anything else you want me to talk about for the test, problems, or? Say again? Number 7. Yes, I'm probably going to put a neither on there. You want me to do a neither? Yeah. Yep. So y equals x squared plus x plus 1 is neither. if you graphed it, right? If you graph it, you'll see it's not symmetrical. So if it's even, it's symmetrical this way, right? And if it's odd, it's symmetrical this way, right? Or like this, right? It's going to match in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3 or quadrant 2 and 4, right? So definitely not even, definitely not odd, right? We agree? We okay here? So first we find f of negative x. So we're going to take every x and put in a negative x. And notice what I did. I put it in with empty parens, right? So you see here in my line x squared plus x plus 1, right? But what am I putting inside the negative x? Right? So now I get x squared minus x plus 1. Is that f of x? Is that the same as f of x? No, right? So it's not even. If it was the same as f of x, it's even. Then what am I supposed to do for odd? I take my f of negative x and negate it, right? So I'm taking my x squared minus x plus 1. I'm taking this piece and negating it, yes? So what do I get? I get minus x squared plus x minus 1. Is that f of x? Is that the same as f of x? No, so it's not odd. It's not even, it's not odd, it's neither. Since f of x did not equal negative f of negative x, f is not even. Since f of x does not equal the opposite of f of negative x, f is not odd. Since f is neither even or odd, it's neither. Since f is neither, it's neither. Stupid English, right? Yeah. What problem, though? This one, okay. We don't need the summary, right? You just want to look at that algebra. So we'll do that for every test and the final. We'll take a day and just review. Where are you? What line? So when I square the negative, yes, becomes positive. Right? Yep, right. So Brian's not here, CD's not here, and Wen Cooney's not here. Am I right? Okay. I'll stick around if you want, but otherwise, have a great day. Get ready for this test, right? Yep. Hey, what's up? Sure, that's fine. That's, yeah, perfect. Thanks. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Where the heck is my recording? Where is my recording?